What a fascinating evening we have ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. We have a one-of-a-kind individual with us tonight. And with that being said, I think we should hop aboard the Hamm Planet spaceship of positivity and blast off into episode number 13 in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Top of the morning, folks. Good afternoon and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hamm Planet Podcast. I'm your host, Peter Hamm. And if you're new to the podcast, hope you're having a good day. I'm having a pretty good day. And if you're not having a good day, it's about to get a lot better because we're really happy that you're with us this evening. It's going to be a damn good evening. I can guarantee you that. I've got my shagadelic outfit on, and our guest is looking handsome as always. Let me tell you about our guest, ladies and gentlemen, because he is one of my favorite people in the world. He is one of the absolute best piano players that I have ever witnessed twiddle their fingers on the piano. He is a very, very, very proud Culver Military Academy alumni and the proud graduate of Company B, which I might be a little biased. It is the most prestigious company there at Culver. He's also a private equity guru. He's doing some great things in that sector. And he's also the founder of a nonprofit called Notes, which is really doing some special things. He is truly one of a kind and couldn't be more excited to have him on. Mr. Quinlan Smith, how we doing, good sir?
Pete, I could say we're pretty hyped for the podcast tonight. Thank you for that phenomenal introduction. I hope you don't mind. I'm pouring myself a nice little glass of Maker's Mark. Tough guy soda.
That's about
See
as
if
tough.
I
That's about as tough as they come.
raise some hair on my chest.
That'll put
But,
some
yeah.
there.
Very
Well-
excited. Thank you for the rock star introduction there.
You're
Hopefully I
very
can
very worthy, my friend.
live up to the hype. And here's a cheers to
Salute.
a fun podcast with friends.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
Woo!
Woo! We're getting her going.
Already felt some hairs grow.
Yeah, I saw it. That testosterone's.
Right, don't let me take my shirt off and just his hair down there.
Well,
Like
we don't
Tarzan.
want to get the ladies excited too. Just yet, Quinlan.
No.
I need to get
Not yet, not
I
yet.
need to get at least 20 minutes of listening time to help the
we get
podcast algorithm.
Before we get too rough and rowdy.
Well, that too. Quinlan, brother, I'll jump right into it. I think it's awesome that you're doing private equity right now. You know me, I love investing. I love following what our economy does, what the world economy is doing, companies all around the world are doing, and I know you do the same, but you do it in a lot different format than I do. Quinlan, what do you love most about being in the private equity industry?
Oh man, so I'm actually pretty new to private equity. I got a new job a couple months ago. Well, I actually got the offer 9 or 10 months ago, and I was slated to start in June. So I started in June, and so I'm still figuring out what I really like about it, because I'm working virtually as a lot of people are during coronavirus. But
Oh yeah,
what
everyone.
I really, yeah, it's been crazy actually. But what I really like about my specific job, and this is not certainly true to a majority of maybe even private equity jobs out there, is I get exposure to just so many different types of industries and companies that we're either investing directly in, like the primary funds that managing them, or direct co-investing alongside a different private equity fund. And so really I just get to do research, or as we call it in the finance industry, I get to underwrite and value a bunch of different types of really interesting opportunities that can range from, solar direct operating platform projects in Japan and Taiwan, all the way to wind farms in Ireland, all the way to mining facilities in Australia, which is basically just examples I pulled out of what I did this week, for example. So
Lithium?
definitely really cool. Yeah, lithium. And
Australia's
Australia's
got a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's just hype about gold right now, as they always are, because that's really the only thing that's performed extremely well. Lithium's held up, and copper's held up pretty well as well. But yeah, I mean, when we're talking metals and mining, lithium's certainly part of the sustainable universe. For those who are listening, just from like batteries, from like electric batteries, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe Pete.
Yeah.
Maybe it'd be helpful to go into what I actually do, because I think that there's a really big misunderstanding out there on like what the heck. First of all, what the heck a hedge fund is, which is what I did in my previous job, and secondly, what the heck like a private equity fund actually does, and am I actually at a private equity fund? Like, what does that mean? Sure, there'll be some people interested.
Quinlan, we can go wherever you want. I love listening to everything you have to share, brother. Fire away. What does a private equity fund actually do? How is it, a career that does good for the world?
So I'm gonna take that a step back.
Take it wherever you want it.
And I'm gonna try and phrase it in a response that would for anyone who's in college or any of those listeners out there who are interested in a career in finance. I'm going to try and provide a little bit of insight into basically how the industry works and what you should be thinking about as like a junior or senior, or anyone with a couple of years of experience. And I'm by no means an expert, but I think I've lucked out with my first opportunity. So first of all,
if you have wisdom, share it.
There are actually very few opportunities coming out of college from like a diversity standpoint across the finance space. I would say really the main track that a lot of people go to and a lot of the jobs out there is people just go straight towards investment banking. And investment banking is really a tough industry from a time suck. You're just completely grinding and you learn a lot. That's fair. But that's not really what I wanted to do. So I really wanted to go on to what's called the buy side. So there's buy side and the sell side. I want to go on the buy side where you're actually allocating cash, where you're spending money to invest in things, right? Like real actual investing. So I got really lucky and I got an internship at this place called Sands Capital Management, where we literally just got cash from institutions, endowments, blah, blah, blah. It was about $45 billion. And then we would invest that in public equities across multiple portfolios. So what does that actually mean? That basically means I'm researching companies around the world that are publicly traded, right? So this is not private equity. This is public equity. This is technically not a hedge fund, but it's because hedge funds can short. We didn't short. There's a lot of nuance there, but it's a long-term growth-focused investment manager.
Absolutely.
So
you are betting on the good for the world to occur, and that's a special thing about what you do. It's not betting against the future or betting on certain companies to fail. It is empowering the future, which I love that.
Yeah, we're finding companies that we think are gonna be good for the world, are gonna grow, right? We're investing in the growth of companies. Whereas there's a lot of stuff in finance where you're only looking for a short-term gain, or you're trying to bet against a company, and that's a lot of what some hedge funds do as well. So we're kind of we were the good guys. So I got a really great amount of experience there. I worked there for 3 years.
I like that a lot.
And I realized that I was actually really interested in learning a bit more about kind of the overall, supply chain of finance, however you would define it. And before you get into public equity, companies have to be private, right? Because you have to go through an initial public offering, get publicly traded shares, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that private equity industry, which includes venture capital, for example, venture is really just the earliest stage of private equity, and then you go kind of growth equity, and then you go into like leveraged buyouts where you have like really big, massive companies who are getting bought out with leverage. So I could have chosen to either go into like a direct private.
It's true.
Yeah, I could either have chosen to go into like a direct private equity firm or something called a fund of funds. And so I chose this firm called Common Fund, where we're a fund of funds, but I work in the private equity division on the real assets and sustainability front, where I would say a majority of my work is basically writing
Soak in the
recommendations
knowledge,
to invest.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Keep
to
going,
invest
Quinlan.
to invest
This is all good
directly into
shit.
companies, right? So we get capital and cash, just like Sands Capital did, from endowments, from institutions, and a lot of nonprofit organizations. We take their cash, we have 20, 30 billion, whatever it is, and then we invest that into privately traded funds, or B, directly into companies, right? And we want a healthy mixture of that. So that's why we're called a fund of funds, because oftentimes we'll not only invest directly in like a primary fund, like if we were a public traded investor, we could actually invest in Sands Capital and have that as part of the portfolio.
Right.
But what I do mostly is basically a private equity fund will come to us and they'll be like, hey, we have this really cool opportunity in Japan. It's just solar, projects or whatever. Do you guys want to co-invest alongside us, allocate capital directly into that company? And then you don't have to pay the fees to manage it, because you're directly purchasing equity in this privately traded company. And then it'll be really great for your portfolio. So the way that private equity in my world works is we're basically allocating cash to privately traded companies to help them grow, to get bigger, and then looking for an exit from those companies in like 5 years, which will then help our overall portfolio.
And that's when they are hopefully big enough to, go do their own endeavors.
Yeah. And so there's a couple different types of private equity, and like a big, like direct private equity firm, what they're going to do is they're going to, typically have a couple different investments of different companies where they're just going into detail and trying to just make the company better and then sell it for more later on. What we do is we basically go on alongside them and we provide equity after we do all the research, let them do all the dirty work, and then hopefully get a lot of the surplus on top over 5 years if it was a good investment. Now, a lot of the time that can go really horribly wrong as well, which is why you hire, hopefully smart individuals to do a lot of the research.
To select the right company.
Yeah, exactly. And so at my firm, I work in the real assets and sustainability.
Quick questions, Quinlan. Well, I've got probably got 100 questions from all that knowledge you just dropped, which was phenomenal. But now I forgot my question. No. Here it was. Because I was thinking about all of the questions at once. So these, the process of selecting the companies. So I'm sure the companies that are basically looking to get to the level where your company becomes an investor in them, what's the process that they have to go to before they're kind of elevated to that level, to where they're up for consideration?
Right. So,
like, does the CEO have to come to your equity firm?
Right. So I would say so the way that my firm does it is like half of what I do every day is I'm
sure every single deal is different.
Everything's different, first of all, but a lot of the time for us, the way that we source, so that's a big part of private equity is called deal sourcing. So like, what is your deal flow like? How many different proprietary deals are you looking at? Where are you sourcing these deals? How are you sourcing deals? Every private equity firm does it different. A big part of it's relationship driven. And
Good.
so
I like that.
I mean, there are millions and millions of companies out there, and there really aren't that many deals to look at that are that attractive. And so what we do is we talk to basically, we have a bunch of calls a week.
Is y'all's firm very balance sheet based when you're looking into the companies, or are you thinking about like, this is disruptive technology? Maybe the balance sheet doesn't technically reflect what this company's value is, but
So
what they're going to do is beyond the measure.
Yeah, so that would be more along.
You'll take companies like that.
We have a couple different types of portfolios, right? So I'm in the real assets sustainability division, right? So I'm looking at a lot of like metals and mining stuff.
Fun.
I'm looking,
that's a good
I'm
stuff
looking
at
a lot of. really I'm looking at a lot of sustainability type stuff. So solar focus, wind focus, precision agriculture, kind of you name anything in like sustainability, and we're looking at it. Because there's a lot of trash out there, and you got to figure out what's good. So we're trying to look
There's a
at
whole
literally
lot
every
of
single deal
sustainability,
out there.
improving efficiency, improving, just constantly improving what we do. But also there's a whole nother movement behind, hey, we want to keep our earth clean. We want to keep it.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want global warming, or we don't want it to be. We don't want to.
And there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money behind that movement too. There's a lot of money behind that movement, and there's a lot of regulatory tailwinds. I mean, for example, in like Japan and Taiwan, you're seeing a lot of like feed-in tariffs, a lot of positive incentives for solar investing. So that's something we're paying attention to, and we're looking for different managers who will bring us opportunities like that. So for example, we talk to 10, 15, 20 different managers a week. And when I say manager, I'm talking like the CEOs of private equity firms. We'll be on the phone with them, and they'll be like, hey, not only should you invest in our fund, but we'd love to bring you along, and we think this is a really cool company. Right. And so then they send us all the information. I review all that. I write a recommendation. And then if everybody loves it,
if you don't mind me asking, as a business owner myself, what information is essential that they have to send to you? Obviously they're
I mean, you're going to want to see for co-investment, it's going to depend on the type of company you're looking at. Right. So there are different like KPIs, key performance indicators, depending on the industry you're looking at. But typically,
if you don't know KPIs, you better know your KPIs, buddy.
I mean, it just depends, honestly. So, I mean, you're going to want to see some kind of financial performance. You want to see how much they're growing. You want to see
something that gets you excited.
Yeah, so that's like the base, and then there's a bunch of qualitative stuff that you're going to be reading through. It's like, hey, what's the macro landscape look like? What's the regulatory framework look like? Do they have a sustainable competitive advantage? These are just like, once you do this for long enough, you'll start to like understand really what makes a company good and what makes a company bad. And a lot of that is, one, do they have disruptive technology? Do they have patents? Do they have a competitive advantage? Do they have a healthy balance sheet? Do they have liquidity? Is there a lot of investor interest? Is there a regulatory concern? I mean, you can go on and on. And so, I mean, I try and summarize all of that, and I synthesize it down into like 10 or 15 pages. And then, recommend we buy into the company. And so that's basically the gist of what I do. And so far I really like it. I've only been doing it for a couple of months, but the research process is very similar to what I was doing at my previous firm. So there's really a lot
that is so awesome,
goes into it.
I love it.
So in a lot of words, that's kind of how
I hope, ladies and gents, I hope you're able to absorb that. But truly fascinating and very innovative work, and most importantly, it's you're fueling future innovation that is driven by companies that are going to make the world a better place, which is what I love most about what you do.
Yeah. So it's definitely been an interesting time, that's basically been taking up a lot of my time recently. And man, work from home environment's definitely been interesting. Because you
want to go see these and you want to go, they probably fly you out to these companies to maybe go see their operation or whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. And so
which is awesome.
I haven't met my like managers yet, because I started virtually. I interviewed in person like 9 or 10 months ago on a super day. But I haven't met anyone in the office yet. Officially, so I was supposed to move to Connecticut, but that hasn't happened. So,
well, Quinlan, you definitely know their shit. And your company, what's the name of your firm again?
Common Fund Capital.
Common Fund Capital. They are lucky to have you, Quinlan, because you are an extremely valuable asset to them. Oh well, they absolutely should be. I know I would be on the moon. Beyond the moon to have anyone of your capabilities, Quinlan. Woo! If you're not feeling smarter already,
take a quick breather, pour myself a little more Maker's Mark. We got a lot more to dive into, Pete.
We got a hell of a lot more. We're just getting warmed up. We still got the sweatsuit on. First quarter hadn't even begun. I'm drinking one of these Shiner. You know about Shiner? It's a Texas original beer. You've heard of
I
it?
think we had some when we visited.
Yeah,
you.
we've had some. We've had 10 or 12 or quite a few.
14.
I'm having their new, everyone's got a Celsius nowadays. Shiner straight shooter. Not gonna lie, it's pretty damn good. It's not as bubbly and fritzy as the a White Claw and Truly, but it's smooth. Shiner always
That's pretty good. Some people
company.
don't like that. Like, yeah, I mean, some
company,
people don't like the bubbliness of the White Claws or whatever. But
I like it.
I'm a fan of White Claws, low key.
Who, if you don't like it, just quit lying.
They're good.
They're delicious. They're delicious. I remember the first time I had them. The first time ever I had them, when it was like kind of like, ooh, this is new. I had Truly's in Vancouver, Canada, with my good friends and my former roommates at Baylor, Blair and Rupert, Canadian twins, identical twins, or not identical. Sorry, boys, fraternal. And I had about 20 that night. I felt amazing. And they were like, Peter, this stuff right here is going to be the new shit.
A big deal. It exploded after that.
I was like, you know what, fellas? It absolutely is. It's like water. It was like water.
Yeah, you know what my issue with White Claws is, though? It's like, oh, man, I have to pee so much when I drink White Claws. It's like back and forth to the bathroom. Only White Claws, though.
It's because it's like water. Well, beers break. You got to break the seal. With beer, because of carbohydrates, you break the seal. Because beer has carbs. Beer gets you chubby.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been beer chubby before.
I've been on a big fitness kick recently, which is why you see me.
Oh, I know. I see your tricep breaking out of your sleeves, you soldier. I know you've been working out, brother.
I've been drinking a lot more like whiskey, tequila, just like
you're on the liquor
trying
diet.
Not to ruin all my gains. Yeah, just liquor.
You're on the liquor, bud. Hey, that's.
Oh, you're darn tootin'.
Oh, you betcha.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was born in Wisconsin, and those darn DNR deers they put out there, and bang, I shot it.
This guy knows Wisconsin.
I got that
Barking accent.
It's kind of Wisconsin, but barking.
Quinlan is a true. What's it? A Wisconsinite?
True Wisconsinite.
Wisconsinite. Hell yeah, I got it right. Truest Wisconsinite I know.
Growing up in Wisconsin, there
was always big. Put it in the bag.
Yeah. I still say that.
Yeah.
There were a lot of peculiarities growing up in Wisconsin, Pete. I'll tell you that.
Expand on that. Because I'm from Texas. We don't even know what Wisconsin is down here. Most people don't.
All right. Well, here's a good story. So, I have two older sisters, and growing up, my parents we lived on this like amazing 60-acre place on a lake in northern Wisconsin, on freaking nowhere, right? And so we'd always just like go down.
Wisconsin, it's just kind of go
all lakes. Northern Wisconsin is all.
Go
lakes.
Claim your territory type of place.
Yeah. So it's the North Woods, yeah. Basically, our parents would pay us to rid the lake of what we called bloodsuckers, or in other words, leeches with orange bellies. And so our lake had a lot of those. And basically, they're these long black. For those who don't know what leeches are, they're just these like 7-inch long black worm things that attach on you and suck your fucking blood.
Potentially kill you.
They're like traumatizing, and they have an anticoagulant in their saliva, which prevents you from scabbing, right? So you can just keep bleeding, and you have to go to the ER sometime. Like it's fucked up. So
if you don't know what leeches are, search them and stay the fuck away from them. But keep
So
going.
we're down at the lake. I'm 5 years old. My sister's 8 years old. And the way that we caught bloodsuckers are we would dangle our toes off the dock, and then we'd see them swimming up. And they only go in shallow areas, right? We'd see them swimming up. We'd scoop them up, and we'd put them in a jar of salt, right? And then they would die, or dishwashing liquid. And so then
y'all were out to murder these bastards.
Fucking yeah. We were like, a quarter every bloodsucker? Damn. And we realized we weren't making that much money because we would catch like 3 an hour and make like 75 cents. And granted, I was 5 years old and my sister was 8, right?
Wait, y'all were incentivized by who? Parents or the government?
Our parents are like, oh my God, we don't have time to deal with our kids right now. Just go catch bloodsuckers at the lake. That was basically it. It's like, we'll pay you a quarter for everyone you saw. And then it would take up like 6 hours every day. Right. So
no, that's a real thing that parents do have to do at times.
Yeah. And so Willow and I, so Willow's 3 years older than me. I was 5, she was 8. We went in our little inner tube. And it was one of those inner tubes that have the bottoms filled. So it's like it's a bottom filled inner tube. So there's not like a hole in it. Mm-hmm. And so we like paddled around the peninsula, like, I don't know, an eighth of a mile, a quarter of a mile.
What lake was it?
Into this real, like, this is Silver Bass Lake. It's really small.
Silver Bass Lake. I like that.
Yeah, Silver Bass Lake. Into this really small, like, really mucky area around this massive rock, and we were just like, there have got to be bloodsuckers here. Like, there's got to be like a nest or something, because this is just like the worst part of the lake where like all the like fish go,
nice
and, like,
and greasy and algae and the whole nine.
So yeah. So we jump up on the rock, and we're perched up on the rock with our tube next to us, and we put the paddle through the water, and I swear to God, Pete, hundreds of bloodsuckers erupt and like start writhing around. We like found the nest. I didn't even know they had nests. We found the nest. And so our eyes were flashing fucking dollar signs, right? We're like, that's at least like $18 worth of like bloodsuckers. So we start scooping them into the inner tube by the fucking
I thought y'all hit the money pit.
So after about 5 minutes, we get them all, and we have about
a life or death situation.
We have about 100 bloodsuckers in the inner tube, just like in the tube. And so we got them all, and we're like, all right. And so we start pushing the tube back across the edge, like, and we're in like a foot or two of water, right? And we're pushing it back across to get back to the dock to like basically cash in on the bloodsuckers. My sister's like 10, 15 feet ahead of me. I kick a rock.
How old were you again?
Walking.
How old were you and Willow? You're 5.
I'm 5. Willow's 8. Yeah. I kick a rock.
Love to see it.
Tip forward. Tube flips over onto me. 100 bloodsuckers on top of me. I erupt out of the water like a fucking swamp monster. Willow is 50 feet away, sprinting in the opposite direction, left me for dead. I'm like ripping.
Willow, you gotta help your bro.
Right. And I made it out with only like one of them attaching to me. But like to this day, I still wake up with a nightmare once a month of getting dragged into the lake by a bloodsucker. And that's one of my many, many Wisconsin stories. So.
I love that story, Quinlan. I'm glad he came out alive, honestly. Bro, that's scary shit. If you were,
it's fucked up, is it not?
Bro, if you were a 3-year-old, which Hattie is 3, like that could probably. I know that was severely good damage there.
I mean, it'll fucking traumatize you.
Well, yeah,
still traumatized.
That first and foremost, at minimum.
But
Jesus Murphy.
Yeah. So that's my bloodsucker story.
Moral of the story for the parents out there: don't incentivize your kids to cash potentially.
No, you can actually sell leeches, not bloodsuckers, because bloodsuckers will eat the fish from the inside. But you can sell leeches to bait shops, because some people use leeches as bait for kind of different. I think not muskies, a certain type of fish will eat them.
Let the baitmen, whatever they do,
go
get them.
Let's not let 5-year-olds catch them. Anyway, that was
that's hilarious.
Tangent. I forgot where.
That wasn't random at all. We were talking about Wisconsin. Right? Rhinelander, Wisconsin.
Peculiarities, yeah. So
the old heartland, land of the badger.
Some of my childhood shared there.
Some of it? Where else was it? I'm curious.
Oh, all my childhood was
all of your
childhood
right
there. That basically epitomizes my childhood. Is that?
Oh, all right. I'm not saying. Oh, I thought you maybe lived in a different city.
No, I grew up in Rhinelander.
Born and raised, right?
Left, really, and our family never really went on vacations either. Like our vacations were in Rhinelander. They're like, you have 60 acres and the fucking sick house, so we're not taking our vacation. So they didn't. But the first time I really left, besides going on like sport tournaments and stuff, was Culver. So that was a really big shock for me, and that was definitely difficult. But
well, it was an adjustment for all of us. No
really
doubt.
worth,
We were 14-year-olds. We're 14-year-olds from all over the country. We had never. I mean, for everyone, you hadn't, especially for the freshmen who come in. It's your first time not living with your parents, but you're 14. So it's like
you're 14 and you're put
there's a bunch and
you're showering with 14
put into a military.
Guys,
well, you're put into a military system,
do you remember?
Which is a great. It's great for development, character development,
character building. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to shower.
But do you remember having to? Do you remember having to recite, remember the freaking Culver Code of Conduct?
Absolutely.
And all those things. It was so hard to. Yeah, mine in life to become the best person me. Listen, I'll strive always to develop my potential to the fullest physically, acting years. I did everything. But,
bro, you got to slow it down now, because now actually when you say it, it's like, damn, that's some
meaningful shit.
It's
do you remember meaningful. What was the other? Was it the spirit of Culver? The hope to win, the zeal to dare, contempt for what is base and mean, pride and achievement.
Quit zooming through it. The hope to win, the zeal to dare, contempt for what is base and mean, pride and achievement. That is fair.
That is fair, and high regard for what is clean.
The strength that is in the brotherhood. The courage that proclaims success. The will to strive for what is
good.
First and always excellence.
Susan Ebony Kaiser.
Oh, Susan Ebony Kaiser.
So you could interchange manliness or excellence.
It was depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
I like them both. There's nothing wrong with manliness.
Having to square all our corners, new cadet candidates. Man, Justin lorded it over me. First boards, and I was second boards. I suck.
Bro, we need.
Was I first boards? I don't even remember.
You were second.
I was.
Okay, so let's explain what boards. Well, okay, let me back it up for a little bit. So when you
give some context.
Well, when you go to
pour myself
Culver Academy, get a little nice liquor drink on. When you become a Culver cadet, if you go to school when you're 14, you are what's called a new cadet for your whole first year.
And you're a new cadet candidate for the first 2 months or 3 months.
Which is some bullshit. But anyways, you're in a phase where you have to learn, grow, and develop and earn the respect of the unit.
40 other guys in your unit.
40 other guys in your unit who have also went through that same exact process, which is very hard. And it's always a thing. Now we look back on it and they're like, oh, they're being too soft. But that's neither here nor there. But you basically have to go through a rite of passage. Your first year is very tough. And then you go through a week of testing, all types of basically rite of passage completion examination, so to speak. And nothing immoral, nothing crazy. Culver is the best school ever.
Nothing no hazing. More of just hey,
hard shit.
Clean your room, get your shit together, learn your stuff.
Be a man.
We're gonna be hard on you. Yeah.
You're a boy, turn into a man.
Yeah, not only that, the frat shit that a lot of people go through. That's just messing around, kind of weird. But actual real shit. Hey, learn this. You have a 1603, 1903 A3, rifle with a 16-inch bayonet. You have to learn how to take apart the firing pin, put it back together. You got to learn how to do the 15 count manual, all these different marching moves, all of that. And you have to learn it under a lot of pressure and quickly.
it's
and you're competing. You're competing too.
Yeah, and then
but
it's a test
at
of
the same
discipline,
time,
and it's a test of work ethic, and it's a test of respecting those who have gone through the same rite of passage that you have, and if you want to be in among that honorable group of fellow cadets and fellow men, you have to do the same. Yeah. It's a great thing Culver does. I hope they always.
And it brings you close. You go through a lot of shit your freshman year, but it brings you a lot closer to your freshman. I mean, to this day, like that's why we're the fellas, and we go to Montana every year, and we're really close. Nothing will ever really change that. So.
Nothing will ever change that. Nothing will ever change that, Quinlan. Quinlan, how insane is it to think 7 years ago we graduated? Which still blows my mind because I feel like we were just walking down walking through the Iron Gate the other day. So 7 years ago we graduated, and then we met 11 years ago. 11.
Damn, have we really known each other for 11 years?
We have.
Dang, bro. You're right.
11.
25.
Over a decade.
Huh. That's crazy. I guess we can get pumped up for a 10-year reunion pretty soon, huh?
Oh, my God.
Coming up. A couple years.
Fired up.
We got to get...
I love the reunion.
Yeah. Get hype. We're at that point, at 10-year, like, we need to ball out when we go. I mean, we balled out at 5-year, but, like, at 10-year, we need to just...
It's just so great.
We need to just, like, buy a mansion somewhere next to,
You get the mansion, I'll bring the party people, huh?
All right.
We got a deal. I just love seeing everyone, and I love seeing who's got fat.
That was a blast. That was a blast.
I love seeing who got fat. There's always a bunch of people blow up.
Yeah.
Can't throw any names out.
Blow up, but also some glow ups.
Oh, absolutely. A lot. No. Don't get me wrong.
A lot of glow ups. A lot of people really, really grow.
95, 99, honestly, percent of people are doing better, are doing great, and are doing great things for the world.
Were you good friends with Peter Brotherton?
Yeah,
he's a good buddy of mine. Dude,
I love Peter Brotherton.
Biggest glow up of Culver, guys.
Guy's a beauty.
Guy's pretty handsome now. Guy's got gorgeous man right there. Peter, if you're listening to this, I'll send you the podcast so that we can have you listen to this specific clip of me complimenting you.
Peter Brotherton, hope you're doing well, my man. I miss you, bro.
He's kicking ass. We had a good chat with him the other night. Me and
this is your official invitation to be a guest on the podcast.
Dude, he's doing some cool shit. He's doing some cool shit in
if he hears that,
LA,
I think. If he hears that, he'll give me a shout, and I'd love to hear from him.
Alrighty.
Every time me and Brotherton get together, it's just it's a grand old time.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's really good. Just good man, no doubt about that.
So in conclusion, Culver,
oh sure, yeah, Culver.
We
can talk about Culver all day.
Great freaking place. If anyone out there is listening with kids, you really can't go wrong. I mean, It's got some of the best sports facilities in the world, literally. World-class tennis center, world-class rowing center. I mean, you name it.
World-class rugby team.
I mean, I would say Culver is one of the top 5.
Give the rugby team a shout out. Come on.
Rugby.
Savage rugby.
One of the top 5, hands down, most, like, from an academic, sport, military standpoint, even just academic and sports, like, best private high schools in the world. Yeah, period.
Oh, well, in my heart, it's number 1 by a long shot.
Yeah. No, I mean, in mine as well, but, like, if you try and take an objective profile, it's got to be top 5.
Well, the thing about Culver, when they compare it to, like, Amherst and Phillips Exeter and, those other Harkness table type, which we did the Harkness table, but it wasn't easy. but those kind of preppy dippity doodah schools.
Zippity doodah.
They're all very academic, like, hey, you gotta get good grades. Actually, I don't know what they do, but I know Culver also teaches you discipline. It teaches you character. It teaches you teamwork.
That's it, yeah.
And it teaches you brotherhood, which you can't put a price on that, and you can't put a gauge. You cannot put that in any statistical number in the world, because it's an emotional character development thing that separates Culver light years beyond measure.
Yeah.
I 1,000% want to send Hadley to Culver. Saving up. Hopefully they got the Peter Hamm scholarship by then. The Hamm Planet.
You won't need a scholarship, Pete.
I would like one.
You or me or Aaron. One of us is just gonna be so crushing it. We're gonna make sure all our kids go to Culver.
I think we're all gonna be crushing it.
We're all crushing it now. So
yeah, we're all crushing it, and I think we'll continue to do so. But it would be a special thing if all of our kids did go to Culver.
I'm sending my. I mean, to an extent, it's going to be a lot of their decision as well, but I'm going to.
If you have a son, I feel like you're going to be able to pick it a little easier. But for me, being a girl being a big softie because of her, I don't know. I'm going to see what happens when we get there.
Yeah.
But,
I'll tell you both. Riley, I have two older sisters who went to Culver, and they both had amazing experiences there.
For a girl, it's just like a no-brainer. I feel like.
Yeah.
It's like a sleepover with some of the most talented, hardworking girls in America.
Yeah. I mean, you push yourself to be better. I came from literally in the middle.
They
of
have the prefect system, which isn't military, but it's there's a lot of character development.
And honestly, Pete, I could really see that changing a little bit over the next 10 to 15 years. I think there's been a big movement recently to for Culver to be a little more inclusive on the military side, to have women opt into some of that. And that's a big structural change, because it's the way that it's always been done. And I wonder if that'll ever.
Wait, there's not like not that there's anything wrong with it, but there's not like a girl regimental commander, right?
No. Well, it doesn't exist, right? It's the prefect system, but there are a lot of alumni who basically are just like, hey, why don't we, let women who come to Culver have the same opportunities as the guys to opt into like a similar type of military system, which I think has a lot of credence, and makes sense. Why is it that only the guys have the military system? Because it's always been done that way. Now, I think the difficult thing about doing that is that, it has always been done that way. So you'd have to, from a logistics standpoint, that's a really tough thing to do right and to do well, and to do successfully. So I'd be curious to see how Culver evolves.
Culver needs to understand that the men and the boys and the guys, I honestly want women to lead the world, and I love women leaders. I'm extremely inspired by so many women out there. Like, I was watching Catherine Woods, the founder and CEO of ARC. And she is just like, God, I want to marry a woman like her. I hope she has a daughter. Maybe I'll look that up. I'm single.
Right, write that one down.
It's okay for me to say that. Yeah, let me jot that down. Catherine Woods. Catherine, she's a little, but we'll see. Anyways, that's just despite the fact. But I'm all for women leading the world 1,000%. Get after it. I love it. But the thing about Culver in specific is that the boys the young men, they live together in the barracks, and it's only the boys in the barracks because
I mean, it's only the girls in the barracks in the girls' dorms as well.
Right. But there's within each vicinity, there's a certain chain of command. Like say for example.
I mean, that's the argument.
Yeah, that's the argument.
That's the argument, though, is why doesn't that exist
like
for the girls as well? And I think that's a valid point. It's just really tough. It's really tough to figure out a way to effectively really change something like that when it's been done for 50 to 100 years.
Tough. And
it's really tough. And you're gonna rub and it's tough from an alumni perspective as well. So in one corner, you have a lot of the more recent alumni, right, who are very much in the support of, hey, women should have the same opportunities to pursue the military aspect as the men do, right, rather than just doing the senior prefect system. Now, in the other end of the spectrum, you have a lot of the
There's
alumni,
not spectrums.
Some of the older alumni, and a lot of
I feel like everyone has kind of their each individual perspective.
Sure. No, I'm saying there are two. There are two schools of thought.
Right.
And the school has to try and figure out a way to navigate in between them without offending either one of the groups, right? So there's the group that they kind of want that, and then there's the other group that is like, hey, no, this is what we had when we were there, and it worked, and it was great, and this is how it should stay, and there's no reason to change it.
It was so amazing how we had it when we were there. Like the discipline was that experience. The discipline and the structural chain of command for the boys was at a perfect level where it wasn't unfair.
Yeah,
you had your opportunity.
That's the whole reason I brought it up, Pete. Is like I had such a great experience, and I'm thinking of like Hadley in this respect. Is like,
absolutely.
Would she benefit from an experience similar to like the stuff we had? But
she would want be able to an experience separate because me knowing her very well, she could probably. She's bigger than a lot of guys who are her age. Granted, she's 3, but she's part Hamm Planet. So, anyways, I'll leave my bias out of it. She's a lady. She's a girly girl. Yeah. She loves pink. She doesn't. She's not going to go into she's not going to want to. Yeah, she wants to live in her own way, and I think as a man who was a battalion commander there, it would be hard for me to be like. Thank you, brother. Unit commander was my favorite rank, though. It would be hard for me to have to tell. Say if we had 5 cadets dicking around in the hall, not doing what they should be doing, and I had to get it sorted, it would be a lot tougher to conceptually make it happen in an effective manner if that was girls and guys, or
but I'm still.
Or if it was all girls,
I think that's the question.
Then maybe I'm like the bad guy, which is
I don't know. I don't know how it would work. I would struggle to see how it would work having a co-ed solution.
Trying to kill the alpha male.
But if the girls system and if the girls system transitioned to the military aspect, I could see a lot fewer women wanting to go to Culver as well. You'd have a much different type of makeup there. Now, I just think it's interesting to think about if Culver will evolve in that way, and I don't think it will personally. But it's interesting to think about. Or if there's like a hybrid model that they try and create.
Well, we've had many great women who went to Culver who ended up going to military academies.
But like, if you're in Culver's shoes, how do you respond to that? Though where like basically you have a lot of people basically say like, oh wow, Culver's sexist because like the guys
Well,
and the girl system is so separate.
When they vote for, or when they choose regimental commander
To go to Culver.
it's a very diverse basically board of directors who are from different sectors of the school, from what I remember. I don't know. I didn't go to the RegCom interview. I said I don't want to do that.
You would have gotten it, hands down.
No way.
Yeah. Speaking of RegComs, I just chilled with Brent
Ratty crushed it, and I'm too much of a kind of a shithound to be doing that. I'm more,
I mean, look, Pete, I think you crushed it as unit commander and battalion commander. You were shit your fucking freshman, sophomore, and junior years, but then you started crushing it.
Well, yeah, you've it's the classic.
You turn on the gas, but you turn on the gas pedal.
Yeah, when it's time to shine, you show up. You
shine your shoes,
make it
baby.
happen.
Literally.
Shine your fucking shoes.
Yeah.
Justin could shine a shoe, I'll tell you that.
Justin could shine a fucking shoe, man. I remember he got unit. Justin we get a kick out of this conversation. I hope he's listening. He's got work.
Oh, he's
definitely working.
No, Justin has listened to every episode.
He and I, so he got unit guide on, which I wanted that like badge on my thing so bad. Instead of me while we were roommates. And he had it just like he had it just posted. He had to just post it up in the room. So I woke up to it every morning.
He was flexing hard.
He flexed so hard on me. It's all right. We're past that. We're past it.
Oh, I know y'all are, but I remember back then it was heated. You were
just not getting along as roommates. We weren't good. We weren't good roommates.
Yeah, not good roommates.
It wasn't because of the guide on. It wasn't because of the guide on thing. But
no,
that's more of just a funny story.
Yeah,
we just didn't gel. Yeah, we just didn't gel as roommates. Aaron and I gelled really well as roommates. We definitely got in some big fights every once in a while, but we were great.
Oh yeah, I remember having to come settle some a few of those down.
I don't even know. Aaron was just freaked fuck out. Fuck you, Aaron, if you're listening.
Aaron, we love you, buddy. You better get on the podcast.
I talked to Aaron probably like 4 hours a fucking night at this point because I know y'all do.
I know y'all do because I try and call you guys and y'all are fucking around on Warzone.
Hey, it's the most social I've been with my friend. It's the best way to just like chill and talk to your buddies.
Listen, brother, but
play with us.
Nothing beats having a good old classic conversation where your attention is 100%.
No, that's fair. But like you do, but I'm saying is like, this is probably the most I've talked and like learned about Aaron in years. Just like because I chat with him a couple hours every night. I love like shit comes up.
I love that y'all do it. It just hurts me when y'all are like, oh,
we're in the middle of the game. We can't chat right now, Pete.
Well, y'all are like, oh, Peter, since you don't have Xbox, we can't talk.
No, you can play with us. You just choose not to. You can play on PC.
No, bro, no. Do you understand what it takes to play on a PC? You need some intent. Like
it's free.
No, it is free. But
you need like the SSD card or the graphics card or whatever is what you're saying.
Bro, you need a $650 graphics card for it to perform at optimal levels.
Yeah, but you don't need optimal levels. You just need the audio to work.
Nah, I need the optimal levels if I'm in it.
You gotta kick some ass and take some names.
I've actually looked at the graphics card and have almost pulled the trigger on it many times because that would actually benefit my job as a media and marketing specialist.
Yeah, that's fair. Sure.
Not a specialist, but I've run a damn company.
You're a specialist at this point.
Well, yeah, I'm a specialist, but it's like the
hair on my chest.
Keep on the hair, brother. The graphics card it takes for that. The graphics card it takes to play a full blown.
It's expensive.
That you download the game from the internet, and then it's cloud based where you're playing people from all over the world.
I mean,
That's a lot of data being transferred at once. It's intense.
It's
great.
If you want to have a decent,
I need a box.
computer for that. I was about to spend like $3 or $4 building my own computer. I don't have a laptop right now. I have my work laptop, my iPad, and I just thought it would be fun to build my own computer. But
don't be an insaniac.
Well,
okay,
it's really
cool. It's
and
really cool.
Eric,
I just think it's a lot of money.
Built his own computer, and my other sister's boyfriend Teddy, who is a computer whiz.
I want to meet.
He would basically walk me through the process. You like Teddy? You would get a sick fucking workout with him. He's in the best.
I know he's a soldier and he's a smart guy. We'd get along.
He's absolute soldier. You guys would really get along.
Yeah, please tell Teddy I'd like to meet him, and I'd love to have him.
Dude, if you come out here and visit me one of these days, we'll get a good workout in.
Okay, so you're in Washington right now, DC?
DC, the district.
Not Wisconsin.
I'm supposed to be in Connecticut. My dad sold our house in Wisconsin. I
know, brother. I know that.
Yeah, officially homeless, but
no, you're not. You're not homeless.
I don't.
You don't own a
home.
Well, brother.
Yeah, I'm
there's not a lot of people that. Yeah, you're stacking paper. It doesn't matter. You don't need a home unless you have 4 kids and your wife is like, yeah. The only time you need a home is if you got a wife that's nagging and saying,
or if you're like
you need to buy a home. Well, yeah, of course. To all my brothers out there who are married, I'm jealous. I think it's a beautiful thing. Marriage, such a special thing. But there is a lot of pressure. There is a lot of pressure for the men in the family. Hey, buy a house, and it has to be a nice house, you know?
Yeah, man. And like, dude, I mean, that's what my sister and I live with my sister and her fiance Eric right now. I was supposed to be in Connecticut, but I'm quarantining with them for context. But so I'm living with them in the interim. But
which is great, Quinlan.
Yeah, I'm saving a lot. I mean, I'm paying them a lot as well. But you know, they're that's top of their minds. Eric's 31, Riley's 30. They're engaged and they're like, hey, we need to buy a house, but it's like everything in DC that's not a piece of shit is minimum $900,000. And I mean, you're basically buying $1 million house for, you know, a really small amount of square feet. It's just like what you think, like the idea. That's. Are
there jobs glued to where they are?
So Eric works at Sands Capital currently, which is where I previously worked. I got him a job there.
Right.
Or I put him in touch with the company. And then Riley works at this place called Allison Partners.
A legend of a little brother.
Yeah, dude, he worked alongside me. He worked like 10 feet across from me for like 9 months. It was pretty cool. We carpooled.
Damn, bro. You put on your sister's boyfriend. That is a legendary good guy move.
Absolutely good guy.
He owes you for life.
Yeah. And then Riley works in a firm called Allison Partners, which is a PR firm. But I mean, look, we're all working from home. I'm going to be working from home till April.
PR, as in like media and stuff.
Yeah. So basically, she like if a firm that they manage, if one of their accounts goes to like a cruise line or whatever it is, like it's a crisis, she like is like, all right, here's how we handle it. Here's how we do your advertising. Here's
crisis
how
management.
You guys have a big. Well, that plus like, hey, okay, how are we gonna handle this? Hey, we're gonna make this big jobs fair for Amazon, or we're gonna make it go like really well. Hey, you guys have this really cool advertising campaign. Here's how we marketed it. Basically, all PR for specific accounts. And then my other sister Willow is a full-fledged therapist.
So does she do just crisis management, or does she can handle any type of
entire PR framework, right? So basically they'll win an account, and well, it depends on the account. I'm speaking for her, so I don't know
each company. each
But
company is individual.
they have
Honestly,
an account, and within that account, they have designated jobs, right? So for some of the accounts, it's like handle fucking everything. For some of it, it's like, hey,
that's
we need
exactly
you
how
for
my
this
company is.
part of it. Yeah. So I mean, you probably do a lot of the similar things. So what Riley does, it's just she works at a very large institution, and
she's gotta go through probably
there's some hoops.
approval hoops. I'm
she's
trying to
pretty
be
high up though. She's
trying to be
VP, I
the
think.
approval hoop.
Yeah. So, and then my other sister Willow, she is a full-fledged therapist now. So she's got a full client load and owns her own business. So she's making 6 figures. She's fucking crushing it. Charges 100 plus an hour.
I know.
You know Willow. You met Willow.
Yeah, I know Willow.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, Willow
she's
was
great.
a senior when we were freshmen, for context.
Yeah, no,
for all you listeners out there.
Of course, I know Willow. She's a therapist. Like what kind of therapist?
Like literally, if you have, like marriage issues, marriage license,
anything maybe tough you're going through.
Anything, depression, drugs, marriage issues, all that shit. So she's got a full caseload.
Does she have a PhD or?
She's got.
I love that she does that.
She's got a master's degree, and then she's dual licensed, which is like I guess a really big deal in Virginia. So she's like a dual licensed marriage family therapist, and also like drug abuse something. There's specific designations. I don't know what they are, but she's crushing it. So, and she had to take a big risk there. She quit her job basically and like started from scratch, and then over like 3 to 6 months, basically built up an entire full client load. So, good, kudos to her.
Fuck yeah. Good shit, Will.
Oh yeah.
No, that's honestly an awesome accomplishment, and I think that's a really cool career.
We're all really proud of her.
She gets to hear she gets to hear probably a bunch of
stories. She's helping people. She's helping people like every day. Like literally that's her job, is to help people. And I think it's really emotionally draining too. I think it's a really fucking hard job, and I couldn't do it. So I have a lot of respect for what she does. I don't know how she does it, because it's just like 7 hours of listening to people's problems and sympathizing. It's hard.
And helping them solve them though, right?
And solving them. Yeah, exactly. And like if they're not solved, like
they get their money back.
No, they don't get their money back.
Yeah, you don't get your money back. If you took up my time,
they have issues. They have issues, and like it's really tough on someone if you're like they come
need
to you
someone
and you
to
can't solve
talk
their
to.
problems, and you're not going to solve everyone's problems.
No, you can't.
It's like, look, like there are people who are suicidal, and so it's like you have to live with the consequences of your patients, of their actions. And I think that is like and not a lot of people realize that when it comes to therapy. It's like there are a lot of people who abuse themselves, who take drugs, who do a lot of things.
1,000%.
And you're trying to help them, and it's really easy to blame yourself if something goes awry or whatever. So it's really high stress.
I couldn't agree.
And it's really hard, and it's really emotional. I have a shit ton of respect for what she does. I mean, I have a shit ton of respect for what Riley does. I have a shit ton of respect for what Eric does. It's hard.
Well, hello, ladies and gents. Commercial break, Peter. Checking on in. Here to remind you that this episode is brought to you by water. Drink it and enjoy it. Back to the show. Slide Big Papa Peter. Couple G's.
Papa Petey.
Papa Bear.
Petey.
Papa Bear. Brother, I am Papa Bear. Papa Bear and Baby Bear. That's what me and Hattie are.
Yeah.
Hype. She's going to Tana next year. She's so excited.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome.
Probably not during our time.
Nah, not the best of times. Not the best of times. I mean, the best of times, but not the best of times.
She would honestly have a blast and be completely fine.
I'm sure. We're all. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez, like if we carried ourselves how we did maybe when we were 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 or
That was
something.
that was a little rough.
But now we're
rough riding.
25 and 26 and it's going to be 27.
We're getting old.
No, we're not, brother. We're getting
old.
We're
getting into our prime.
Brother, this is the way I like to think of life. You need to try and interpret every day that today is the start of the Quinlan Smith film. And this is hypothetical. And Quinlan Smith, he's shit's hit the fan. It's like life's fucking rough. Everyone's doubting him, but the comeback story starts today, and now he begins to conquer the world. And then,
Dude, that was me That was me 9 months ago, bro.
I'm just saying that's a great way to live your life.
Yeah.
It's a great way to live your life is to think that today is the first day of the Peter Hamm movie.
That's fair sentiment.
And then you want to make that movie a movie that you want not only your children to watch, but everyone in the world to watch and be inspired by.
Yeah.
You want people to watch the Quinlan Smith documentary and be like, damn, I want to be like Quinlan. Guy fucking bounced back when all odds were against him. Came out of
Jones.
Came out of the basement to conquer the world.
Yeah.
Hey, you're in a basement. I'm in an attic right now. It's pretty sick.
I'm crushing it.
Basements and attics are the best spots of the house.
Hands down.
They're the most private. Yo, you do?
Oh yeah, it's fucking freezing actually.
Is it?
Yeah, I got a heater on down here.
Yeah. I had to buy a
blanket on my legs.
I bought air conditioning for up here because my office was a full blown attic about 7 months ago, 8 months ago. You visited right after I started.
Right after the renovations.
Yeah, the transformation. But now it's, in my opinion, the sickest part of the crib.
It is a good looking place, sir. Certainly.
I want to get. I'm in a position where, I kind of could go rent an office out, in the city, but I don't want to.
I don't think you need to yet. I don't think you need to. If you got this space, you got a stick set up, like why? You fucking throw away $1,000 every month. Like you don't need that. It's unnecessary overhead costs. Any finance guy would tell you that.
And I'm a finance guy. You know what I do every day, Quinlan? I write down how much money I have in every single asset of my life.
Every day?
Every single day. I have track of it for at least the past, I think I'm almost at 20 months now where I've written it down. Well, I don't write it down on Saturdays and Sundays. But I do Monday through Friday. It's kind of cool to. And the day I started doing it, I had $400.
Oh, really?
Oh, $400.
I do. I have a very accurate picture of my like assets and liabilities in my head, and I write it down occasionally. But really, there aren't that many buckets on my end. There's my investment account. There's my bank. Capital One, where I get my checking and my savings. And then there's my debt, which is, I got mostly a full ride to Middlebury, so I don't have too much student loan debt, thank God.
Absolutely.
And I have,
everyone's got debt. It's part of life.
So
rent's not
those are the three buckets.
Yeah.
But I think it's incredibly important.
Well, you
I
got to
think it's
factor in
incredibly important
Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. If you use any,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can factor in some other stuff as well. I
I
try and get within 95%, and then I know that 5%, the rest, the last 5% is really just like kind of intermittent spending and random shit. So if I'm within 95%, I'm fine.
wait,
And I
95%
think
of
like
what? What's your 90? What do you mean 95%?
95% accurate projections of basically how much I'm spending and how much I have.
I write it to the cent, brother. I'm telling you, it's pretty fun.
So like basically I'm saying from a projection, I basically build a financial model for my life, right? So what I do is I have, okay, here's my net worth currently, and then I break it down by asset, right? And then what I do is I have on a month-to-month basis, I have broken down in 2-week periods. I have my earnings, right? So here's how much income is coming in from my salary.
Absolutely.
Here's how much I project to make on an annualized basis from my investments, right? So I basically take my assets and I multiply that by 1 times 1.15 if I'm assuming a 15% annualized return on my investments in the stock market. And
That's
I
all
want
you
to be
get on
investing
your.
in that.
That's all you get on your return on
No,
investment.
I'm just
brother?
saying for
No, you're being conservative.
I'm just saying for over 50 years, whatever, right? You know, if you
over
make
50
15%,
years.
you're fucking crushing it.
Yeah. Over 50
So
years. Yeah.
I'm saying theoretically annualized. You know, hopefully I'm making like 25, 50%, and I'm a genius, but that doesn't happen. You know, they're downturns. So you know, if you annualize over that period, if you make 15%, 20%, whatever it is, and then you add in your rent expense, your food expense, your whatever other expenses you have, you subtract it out, then you multiply that by your bonus, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh.
You're gonna get a pretty good outlook for where you're gonna be in 10, 20, 30, 40 years. So I always have a blast, have an actual blast doing that, and I love just like playing around with the different all the different levers you can make to be like, oh, could I be a millionaire in 3 years? And what do I have to do to get there? Like that type of shit. It's fun.
Yeah.
You're plugging my iPad here.
Well, you got to know how much. You got to know. This kind of goes into a big thing. I was teaching to the guy who I just hired this week, Andrew. I was telling him today, you have to know where you are financially, and you have to know it down to the dollar is the best. Down to the cent is even the best. You have to know where you are, and you have to keep track of that religiously. But more importantly, you have to know where you want to be. And if you have that number of where you want to be, I say you have a 3-month number, or you have a 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months number. Honestly, the shit after that, it's.
I mean, you want to get to the point where you have enough saved up where you don't have to worry about the short term, where it's really just about like, hey, what are my 5 to 10, 20-year projections?
Right, absolutely.
That's how I think about it.
Well, of course, but especially when you're at the early stages of growth, it's good to think
you're gonna have a lot of expenses. Like I'm sure you have a fuck ton of like expenses, like all over the place. It's just like you gotta track that shit. You have a lot of stuff you spend.
I spend $8,000 a month in expenses with the business and Hadley and food, insurance, and.
I mean, look, car. I spend about $1,900 a month.
I know.
If that.
No, I have to spend a lot, brother.
So it's definitely very different.
I
mean, I'm lucky. I'm living in the fucking basement of my sister's place.
I could spend
instead of moving to Connecticut.
Yeah, I could spend 19, no doubt. I just have to keep.
You have to invest in growing your business and like all that type of shit.
It's all good things.
It's different. Yeah.
I just have to meet that minimum threshold to keep the momentum going. So it's
sure.
It's It's it it's had its ups and downs, but once you're above that threshold, multiple months, then that's when it starts to get special.
Start rolling, yeah.
That's what's allowed me to hire. I mean, I've got two people full time. One's obviously international.
International, sure.
Shout out Jenny from the Philippines. I love her to death. She's the best. She's the best tech. She's the best social tech assistant in the world. If you need the best, give me a shout. I know the best virtual assistant, which she's mine, so you might have to pay her a premium, but I'm giving her a shout out because she's honestly, if she lived in America, she can make 60 $60 an hour salary because she's that good. Like you tell her what to do, she's happy and excited about it. She's always willing to learn. She's always shows up on time. She always does what she says, and like that's honestly hard to come by sometimes here in America.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
People want more than that, and they think they're too entitled to that. And I only have to pay, like, originally when we first started, when I didn't have much money to hire her, but I knew that she could help grow things. Paid her $8 an hour, which to her was a lot. That's like $20 an hour in the Philippines. And now I pay her more than that. She's very well deserving of it. If I paid her more, she'd be crushing it. Because like $1 in the United States is like $3 in the Philippines, essentially. I'm telling you, I think about it a lot. Getting some nice cheddar here in the U.S., heading over to maybe not Thailand. Thailand gets a little wild, but the Philippines.
Yeah, having a good time.
They do speak. Everyone's
fellas Philippines trip. I bet Justin got some connects.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Justin has to have connects. I mean, his parents. They were born and raised there, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. They're the classic American dream story. And think about Justin. Justin, like, it was always nice. He can get competitive at times, but it's just because he wants.
Nothing wrong with a little competitiveness.
Yeah, it's just because he wants to crush it, just like everyone else. But he's the nicest part of his DNA, and that's something that's very prominent among the Philippines community, at least from what I've experienced.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, but makes sense. Man, dude, I pinched a nerve in my neck. It hurts so bad right now.
Was it during work or was it?
No, I was
working out.
I was doing
What were you doing?
And I was doing weighted pull-ups, and
Quinlan, I'll tell you right now, brother.
My neck a little bit.
Don't do weighted pull-ups. It's not healthy on the system. Shit like that happens. No, they're good. They're hard. They're tough. They get you swole. Listen, brother, I've done hundreds and thousands of them, but they're not healthy to your joints and ligaments and your fast twitch muscles, which is a lot of shit that can go wrong in your neck, and you need your neck.
I mean, I think it's all about form, and I think what I did wrong is I just engaged my neck weird that day. I was like pushing myself a little bit, and I think that's what fucked. Because like
probably were sleep deprived.
Look, I think I just didn't have good form that day, and I think I must have, like, on the last couple of reps, either I was trying to show off or something. I like engaged my neck to get like that last rep, I think it's just like, and I don't know if that's what it was. Honestly, I don't know, but I know that's what really like exacerbated it.
Yeah,
That's
if
when I
you're
started
going
feeling it a
hard,
little
then
bit.
that gets so
And
much
I was doing,
stress.
I had 45 pounds on. I was doing sets of like 5 or 6 reps, and it was just like,
Fuck yeah,
like
Quinlan.
at the last, I did like 5 or 6 sets, and the last set,
It's
like
coming
on
from
the
a
last
guy who
set,
couldn't do a pull up when I met him.
I couldn't do I could do a pull up. I couldn't do more than one though with good form.
And that one I
Now I
met
can do
you.
like 14, 15 dead
When I
hang.
first initially met you, Quinlan, I don't know if we could get.
I mean, I've always been really skinny and not strong. I've always been in incredibly good shape though. There's a difference.
You've always been a great athlete in good shape.
Really good athlete.
That's strength.
But
pulling
now
a 45-pound plate with your back.
Yeah, now over the past year and a half, I would say,
power, endurance.
Really about a year and a half, I've really been focusing on putting on weight and muscle. And I mean, you can see I'm still pretty skinny, but I put on about 25 pounds of
Quinlan,
what I think
you're a hot
really
guy doing
muscle,
hot things. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
So,
what more is there to it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's just diet, but I'm annoyed because I fucking hurt my neck the other day. It's fine now. I did about 200 pull-ups today, and it was fine. So
I don't do weighted pull-ups anymore because of shit like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you're doing them with good form, really strict, and with like solid, steady. I mean, but it's like when you push yourself.
I'm already enough of a weight.
Yeah, no, look, like I need to put on the muscle mass, and for me, it's like it's those types of exercises that are going to be the biggest. It's squats is deadlifts, bench press is weighted pull-ups is weighted dips.
If you want,
it's overhead press.
From my philosophy, those are very essential. Well, from a gym perspective, this is what has helped me gain the most muscle mass, and I'll put it in the simplest terms: utilizing drop sets.
I do that.
Going till failure.
I do that on every set. So like when I do
going
bench press,
till failure, and that's
so
how
for
you
bench.
get there.
So like I did bench on Monday, and basically my workout was.
Well, bench is hard to get a drop set.
No. So what I did was yeah, you're right.
You have the things that have got me biggest is switching immediately to the next weight. So with dumbbells, it's easier.
I'll do 185 pounds. I'll do 5 reps. I'll rip off the 25s. I'll put on 10s and 5s. I'll do 165 until failure. Rip off the 5s. Do 155. Rip off the 10s, and then do 135 till failure. And by that, my muscles are fucking shot. And there's like, I don't know, it's like 5 seconds pause between each one. And I mean, what the things where you can pull out the peg and put it back in, that's really the easiest to do drop sets on, obviously.
Well, but you can't get a good chest workout. You can't get a good chest workout with any machine.
No, that's why I do it.
You can with a cable. I've got the secret.
So I do overhead cable crosses, and I do drop sets on those as well.
Do you want to know
cable flies, cable crosses?
You want to know Peter Hamm Swolger scientist's secret that not many people know about?
I'd love to.
All right.
Well, now they're gonna know.
Well, the fine ladies and gentlemen who are still listening, I will say the best chest workout to gain size and volume to your chest. If you want a good looking barrel chest, what you do is you get the I call it the cube bar, the cube handle. You know what I'm talking about? The close grip. You usually use it for rows.
Yeah.
Back rows? Okay.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. So if you're at a cable station where there's a cable over here, like the ones that are by your side. Yeah. Okay. So what you do, you grab onto this side, you put the cube handle on that one. So you go grab it. So I'm holding on to this side of the cables, and I've got the cube handle grip.
Wait, so do you have tension on this? Do you have tension on this arm? basically, where you have the cable on this
Well,
end,
yeah,
and then you have the you're
so,
pulling it, right? So you've got a
so
cable
I'm
on this
pulling
end.
it this way,
Okay.
but then I position my body in a way that I'm, pushing my chest forward. You want your chest to be the farthest point forward, but this is the secret though. What you do is you thread your hand through that cube so that when you're pulling the weight,
so it's across.
It's pulling,
I see.
yeah.
So you're not cheating
face
at
it.
all with your arm back.
You can't cheat worth a shit, and your chest burns. Woo! It'll make.
I can picture it.
It's
I'll try that. I'll try that out tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow.
Do it one arm at a time. Start with 70 pounds, and then immediately go to 50, and then immediately go 30, and then go 20.
Drop set,
and then even do it with the 10. That's all you need to do for a chest hair.
I think I need to really continue putting in a lot of work with my squats. It's my legs are hands down the weakest part of my body right now.
We're tall guys. So it's hard.
It is hard. And
squats are not healthy for your body.
I go all the fucking way down. But it's like, dude, anything above 205, like
don't
that's
go
not that
heavy
much.
with squats.
Yeah, I mean, dude. Also, but like for putting on mass, like squats are some of the.
For putting on mass,
it's objectively the best exercise, deadlift and squat. Objectively, squat is like it activates the most amount of muscles, and like it fucking gets your entire circulatory system jacked up. Like it's the best for putting on mass.
It's up there,
hands down.
Each person's body is different.
Scientifically,
for me, it's leg press.
It is the best exercise.
For me, it is leg press. Leg press, a lot of reps.
But I'm saying, from a scientific perspective, it is hands down the best exercise. I've done the research.
I've done my fucking research too, Quinlan. Go look at King Kali's leg press set. It is. You just put.
I just don't
hear me out. I don't
see the leg press activating as many muscles as squat.
Hear me out, Quinlan. I'm talking about the leg press where your back's down here and your chest. I'm trying not to kick anything over. Your legs are up here.
Okay. Up the ass.
So you're not taking it up the ass. You're getting huge. And this is what you do. Just with two plates on each side, you do 10 reps with your feet on the outer portion of the leg press. Then you do 10 reps with your feet closer together, shoulder width. Then you do 10 reps after that with your feet pointed outward. And then you do 10 reps with your feet right close together.
That's got to be killer.
Oh,
sounds like it's killer. It's got to be burning by the end.
I die.
That being a phenomenal leg exercise.
I puke, and then after that, you do 1 minute of lunges.
Like, are you getting the same kind of? But are you getting the same kind of core activation you would from squat? I just don't see it activating as many muscles or as much of the circulatory system as a squat does.
Right, and I'm not comparing it in that way. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. I mean, they're different. They're different. Yeah.
If you want to gain mass, for specifically your legs, do that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I was saying
athlete-wise,
squats one of the best.
Oh, 1,000% agree, brother.
But like also you say, okay, so I think you have a fair point that really heavy squats can be a little dangerous and tough on your joints. But I think also the squat motion is one of the hands down healthiest forms of exercise you can do from a mobility and long-term longevity of just like mobility and flexibility perspective.
I'm a squat maniac, but I believe in bodies. Do a bunch of body squats. You're
right. Really heavy weighted squats.
It fucks you up. I've seen a lot of friends.
I don't squat heavy. I
I
mean,
know.
I'm never really even squatting 2 plates, which I'm a little ashamed of. I wish I could easily squat 2 plates, but
Do
I'm not
not be
there yet.
ashamed of. I don't squat more than 3 or 4 nowadays, but I used to do.
Squatting 4 plates is still pretty impressive.
Well, that was kind of standard protocol with the rugby. With the rugby
Standard
meet,
fucking protocol, mate.
We're big boys who use our legs a lot.
You also have, I'm not a big boy. I'm 180,
but it's not
180 pounds right now. I'm trying to get to 185.
Good for your longevity. You're completely right.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's why I can't do it anymore because I want to walk around.
But like, look, a big part of my fitness goals are to put on mass. So, I want to put on another 10 to 15 pounds. I started working out, a year and a half, 2 years ago. I was 155 pounds, Pete, at 6'4". I'm about 178, almost 180 now. My original goal is 185, and my new goal is 195.
You're making
my new goal is 195. So
tremendous progress.
So I
juice it up.
I went from benching 2 reps of 135.
Orange scale juice.
I repped out 3 or 4 reps. I repped out like 3 or 4 reps of 205, like real nice and easy the other day. Felt good.
Oh, sure. Quinlan,
sure.
Well, that's power.
Yeah, no, it felt good. And like my pull-ups, my back, but as I was saying, my squat, my deadlift, I need a lot of work on. I can do quite a bit hex bar deadlift, but like, man, normal deadlift, I still really struggle with the form, and I've had like professionals look at my form, and I find form is just really hard. I just really struggle with doing a lot of weight, not from a picking it up perspective, but from like not putting the right amount of like stress on my back. So I've been.
There's nothing cool about deadlifting a lot. I mean, it's badass.
And so I've been focusing a lot more on hex bar deadlift, which I think is a lot healthier.
There's a lot of cool things. There's no more attached to being a powerful, one-of-a-kind man who can pick up such a strong weight. But functionality and life-wise, when the hell are you going to have to do something like that in a modern, innovative world?
But it's the same thing. It's the same thing I was saying with squat. It's like, look, deadlift is one of the best functional exercises for putting on mass. And
I just want to be functional.
Instead of doing straight bar deadlift, I do hex bar deadlift. And, I can rep out, 275 plus pretty easily. And with normal deadlift, if I did 275, my back would hurt. I'd hurt my back. So I know it's not an issue of like power on normal barbell deadlift. It's just like I still need to work on my form more.
My goal, Quinlan, is to be functional and fuckable.
Yeah, I mean, look, I still go on runs every day. I do a lot of calisthenics type stuff. So I play a lot of squash, play a lot of tennis. So you gotta cross train. Do a little bit of We have Peloton here. Big fan of the Peloton.
Oh sure, great stuff.
Dude, I'm fucking pissed. Every month I look at the fucking Peloton stock. I'm like, damn, I should invest in this.
It's
fucking
too
company.
hot.
And I think,
and
I'm just like, nah, it's too hot. And I push it off a month, and the next month it's up another 30%. And I'm just like, you motherfucker. And Tesla taught me this, and I haven't. And I was like, as soon as I missed out, I was like, all right, never bet against an amazing product.
Don't bet against Elon.
No. It's sure not Elon, but like, don't bet against an amazing product. The Tesla cars are an amazing product. Everyone loves their cars.
Tesla is not a car company.
Fucking Pelotons, bro. They're fucking Pelotons. Everyone loves their Pelotons. Don't bet against a good product. And like time and time again, I'm just like, the stocks run up. It's like, dude, the stock market can run up fucking continuously. It's speculative. Like,
it's all
valuation only takes you so far, so.
Oh yeah, that's the thing about Tesla, bro.
I have a lot of my cash out of the market right now, and
go buy some Tesla.
I don't know what I'm gonna invest in, and nothing's really like popping out at me right now, and I don't know what to do with it. But it's like, also, I don't know. Like, I realized like 3 to 5 years of returns on a couple of my investments, and so I'm like pretty good.
Do you want to know?
Happy with that, but
sorry to interrupt, brother. I'm not trying to, but I'll give you a good. This is if you want to put a long-term play in. That is literally. I'm jealous that you're knowing about this right now because I've had to feel the pain the past few days. But Helion, do you know about them?
Vaguely. I don't know much about the financials.
Have you heard of Tortoise Acquisition? Stock ticker SHLL. They're a blank check company that has really just dominated the SPAC industry. And anyways, blank check companies.
Helion Energy, fusion engine company.
They're actually a commercial automotive industry that has electronic commercial vehicles that are also powered too by natural gas. I'm telling you, it's went down 45% since the acquisition, which changed the stock ticker, which a lot of people are very pissed about it. But it's a phenomenal company that's really going to do some really amazing things for the commercial industry.
What's the ticker?
HYLN.
Oh, Helion, double I.
The founder and
it's down 11% today.
It's down 40% over the past week since the merger, which is due. It's not
44.8%. Huh?
No, look at the. You need to understand what's happening.
Okay. Well, after the past 6 months, it's still up 187%.
No. It just yes, the stock ticker. So it was previously Tortoise Acquisition, which was a blank check SPAC company that literally is in the business of raising funds to acquire innovative companies to fuel them. Kind of similar to what you're doing, honestly. And Helion is going to be essentially the not the Tesla, because Tesla is not even an automotive company. They're every cloud computing, solar. But
components, hybrid suspension.
Do your research on Helion, brother. And if you bought it right now, I'm telling you, you are buying it at the most pristine time ever. Howdy there, ladies and gents. It's your man, Commercial Break Peter here. Quick check-in, letting you know that I love you. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And if you can do a quick favor and give us a good old 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, good karma's coming in hot. Back to the show. Quinlan, I usually ask, as per tradition on the Hamm Planet Podcast, I always ask the famous would you rather questions. And I'd like to proceed with that now, if you don't mind, good sir.
Sure.
So the only rules of the would you rather questions is, one, if you have any additional questions, you need to understand that anything outside the question is up for interpretation. I can't give you clarity or clarification or what ifs. Secondly, I'll answer two. And
all right. Yeah, let's go.
And number three, you got to answer no matter how insane. All right, here we go. Let me get the old bucket of questions out. Pull out of the old Peter Rabbit magical hat of.
I'm gonna have a lot of conviction in each one of these.
They're intense. I've had some very deep, goofy, and funny. I've had all types of discussions. Quinlan Smith, would you rather the aliens that make first contact be robotic or be organic?
Organic.
Me too. Honestly, it's scary though to think about that.
But like it's scary to think if they're robotic. That
if they're robotic,
other organic out. There's just other organic aliens out there who made them.
Yeah, who sent that shit to us. That's potentially more dangerous.
That's scarier, yeah.
Or what's even worse is that the organic species who originally created the robots
was taken over by the robots.
Yeah, due to overprogramming.
Yeah, organic. That's the answer. Hands down.
You've heard the paperclip philosophy, right?
Oh yeah, you're a darn dude.
Well, it's you program the robot to you create a robot. You program that robot just to put paper clips on your papers to organize them. But what he ends up doing, because you program him too much, is he ends up not only putting paper clips on your things, he ends up turning everything around.
Your wife. Oh.
Yeah, I don't have a wife, so it's all good. No, he ends up, his automation is so powerful that he ends up turning everything around him into paper clips, which turns the whole world into paper clips, which then turns the whole universe into paper clips. And then we now live in a robotic society. But it's not
just a paper for all paper clips.
Well, it's not the paper clips, but it's a figure of speech. But yeah, you got to watch out. All right. Organic all the way. We like it organic. Quinlan Smith, number 2. Would you rather, for the rest of your life, I know your answer for this one, but it's a good question. Always be 10 minutes late, or always be 20 minutes early. Everything.
20 minutes early. I'm already like 10 minutes early.
I know you're going. But
easy question. Next.
10 minutes late.
It's just too easy. Next question. Too easy.
Hey, I got an answer too, buddy. Jesus Murphy. All right, let's see what we got. I knew that was the easy one for you. Quinlan, would you rather be in jail for a year or lose 1 year of your life?
Oh, be in jail for a year. Well,
I would do the jail for a year because I'm kind of thug life, but would you?
Like, does the jail for a year with all the consequences of being in jail?
That's outside of interpretation, but I don't know if you've ever been to jail.
There's a lot. I wouldn't mind being in jail for a year. There's just like the connotation that has for the rest of your life.
You ever been in Slammer?
No, I've not been in the Slammer, Pete.
Well, I've seen documentaries about it, and I've heard it's not a fun time.
I mean, look, I think living a year in jail versus losing a year is certainly better. I'd rather have a year in jail than lose a year of my life. But, would losing a year of your life would you lose basically a lot more happiness by having all the negative connotations that come with being in jail? So it would really depend on the interpretation of the question, but on a face value, yeah, you're in jail.
Yeah, I would absolutely do a year in jail. You get to learn a lot from the people who have failed. You just can't be dying, and you can't get killed. That's the most important thing if you're going to jail.
Yeah.
Can we quote the aggressive next questions, Quinlan? I love you, brother.
No.
Okay.
I'm sticking to my guns here. I'm telling you, I'm being confident.
Oh, I agree. Okay. All right then. I just kind of want to be involved too, but no big deal. Would you rather?
Next question.
Would you rather be able to only watch the few movies with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 95 to 100%, or only be able to watch the majority of movies with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 94% and lower?
94% and lower. That's an easy question. There's so many
Quality
amazing
is great,
shit
though.
movies. There are so many shit movies that are below, or amazing movies that are below 94%, Pete. Like,
Oh, I agree.
there are
they're biased as
very
hell.
few movies above 95%, honestly.
I got a problem
When
with
you
Rotten
lose,
Tomatoes.
I mean,
I'll tell you that right now.
granted, you do lose
shit
like the Good Will
organization.
Huntings and like all those, but like, granted, you do lose a lot of really great movies under 94% in the other ones.
You lose
under
Anchorman.
94. Yeah, under 94, hands down, easy.
They probably have Ocean's 11 under. They probably got it in the 70s.
Yeah.
Scumbags.
Yeah, there's some great movies in the 80s.
I'm tired of Rotten Tomatoes and all their bullshit.
Well, yeah.
Next question. Would you rather, Quinlan?
Hey, take it easy on the next question, Speed. All right, continue.
Oh, my apologies. Would you rather have to read aloud every word you read or sing everything you say out loud?
Read
Read?
Read aloud everything. Yeah, hands down. Because you like singing everything. What was it? Sing everything you what? Sing everything you say? That would ruin your life, bro.
Sing everything that you say out loud. So it's like, I guess you're kind of like
ruin your fucking life.
You're talking to like a group of
loud.
people. They'd make it like a music. Everything you'd say like a musical, except everyone would be like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah. Read everything aloud. Easy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Give me some tough ones.
Would you rather have all dogs try to attack you when they see you, or all birds try to attack you when they see you? That's a tough one for you, buddy.
That's a really tough one.
All
dogs.
I'm taking a picture of that.
There are a lot of motherfucking birds out there. Like, most, like, I would say a majority of dogs I see are on a leash. Dude, I go out there and I see like 20, 30 plus birds every time I go on a walk. I can go on walks and not see a dog any day of the week.
I'll kill a fucking bird, but there's some dogs that a dog can be vicious and can kill a human.
Yeah, but like, I'll just move to I would just probably move to a place with fewer dogs.
Nice little sausage dog, ripped through my buddy's hand, who is a United States Marine officer.
Birds, just like 20 birds. You couldn't go outside.
Rocky ripped through my buddy's hand when he was angry, and he's a little sausage dog.
You could theoretically just avoid the dogs, but like from a bird perspective, you can't avoid that shit. They're flying.
The dog is pissed.
But you're right. The dog would be a little scarier for your life. I'm still going birds. That's fucking scary, dude. Like, just a bunch of birds dive bombing out of nowhere.
That's some like scary movie type shit. Both scenarios, honestly.
Birds. Yeah, there's not a good pick out of those two. There's not a good pick, and a lot of it would be a little bit subjective.
You really fuck either way, especially if you got a bunch of ostriches around you.
I gotta go bird. Yeah. Oh my god, you're getting fucked in the ass. Yeah, I'm going birds.
Same, brother. All right, brother. Here we are. Getting to the hard ones. This one's pretty interesting. This one's a mind fuck. Quinlan, my friend, would you rather live in a house with see-through walls in a city, or in the same see-through house but in the middle of a forest far from civilization? So I guess that's really how much you enjoy being around people. Would you?
Oh,
Would you give up social interaction
I would
for
love
privacy?
to be in a see-through house. No, I would totally love to be in a house in the city. Fuck it. I'm proud. I'd take a shower naked. That's
Bro, the
people
thing
can see what
is,
the fuck I'm.
if that was an actual thing, that would be like a modern marvel. Now that I think about it.
It'd be more about the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine living in the city in a see-through house. I think that'd be fucking sick, dude.
Bro, that would be like a modern marvel. People would come from all around the world to come see that, you know? Hey, there's Quinlan
Yeah, how fucking
Smith.
cool would that be?
Quinlan Smith, billionaire. He just bought this property, but you can see everything that's going on in his house. Oh, he's giving the old lady up there. He's giving the wife.
Nah, I just go to her place.
Go to her place. It's your wife.
I mean,
we're talking hypotheticals,
okay.
But we'll see what happens.
She's gonna
put on a show.
They're gonna see I'm very good.
Absolutely. All right, brother. We got the last question. Last question, best question. Would you rather have a map that shows you the location of anything that you want to find and can be used again and again, but has a margin of error up to 5 miles?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Is that Pirates of the Caribbean? Okay, we're going to a different question then.
Yeah.
Is it? I
That's
have
the
no
entire
idea.
plot. It's his compass.
All right.
Pete, would you rather
Okay,
drink only extremely nice whiskey for the rest of your life, or exclusively Bud Light?
Quinlan, are you kidding?
You can only drink
Bud Light.
really, really nice, high quality. Okay, but don't like whiskey that much, Pete. You can barely stomach it.
Are you kidding me?
Dude,
I
the
love
last time
whiskey.
I saw you drink whiskey, you made facial expressions for hours.
Quinlan, I don't like drinking whiskey straight, but I will.
When did you?
Shot.
Okay, but it's straight whiskey.
Quinlan, I drink.
No,
yeah,
you can't take it as a shot. You got to sip it. That's part of the would you rather. You sip the whiskey.
Quinlan,
risk the rest of your life that you sip.
I would take the whiskey. Quinlan, I love whiskey. You saw me drink it. You're thinking of when I was 18, struggle bus. I became a heavy whiskey drinker.
I still haven't seen you drink whiskey since then, Pete. You didn't drink whiskey.
I had kind of a.
Tired of any whiskey.
Well, I don't drink liquor. I try not to drink liquor because it gets me in trouble.
I see. So you would choose whiskey over Bud Light?
Yes, I hate Bud Light. Give me a better beer. I like Bud Light Lime.
Okay, so only whiskey. Okay, gotcha.
I like Bud Light Lime if you give me maybe a better beer. If you give me
a better beer.
If you give me Shiner, that would be a hard one. I would go with a Shiner.
We gotta get you sponsored by Shiner on this podcast, Pete.
I'll reach out to them. I've preached to a lot of people. If you really love a company, you just need to reach out to them and say, "Hey, I love you guys. Can I get some shit from you?" I've had so much shit given to me. It's great.
Yeah, that doesn't work with women, unfortunately. I love you.
Well, you honestly portray it in a decently professional, respectful way. Hey, if you don't ask for anything in this world, you don't get it. Next question. We got a good one here. All right, Quinlan.
One cigar away.
Quinlan Smith. Would you rather have someone impersonating you? Mr. Quinlan. Quinlan. Last question, best question here, my friend. Would you rather have someone impersonating you and doing really amazing things that you get the credit for, or find money hidden in extremely weird places all around your house every day, but you can't figure out where the money comes from or how it keeps getting there.
I mean,
So do you want
this free money?
Money elves?
I would feel super inadequate or like insecure if somebody was impersonating me, like, giving me credit for shit. I would just feel uncomfortable. I would just be like, somehow that I'm a fucking fraud. But
would you want random
some little fucking random
magical money elves,
magical creatures placing money around my place, like finding it under my armpits and shit? Like, that'd be fucking sick. Like, hands down. Easy.
Oh!
Yeah, give me money. Sure, thank you. I don't know.
Philanthropist.
Whoa, that one came out of a bad place.
Quinlan Smith,
that
philanthropist.
That kind of hurt. Pulling a fucking, yeah. Anyway,
Or just random people hugging you in the street saying, Quinlan, I love you. And you'd be like, God, I didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything to deserve this, but damn, do I feel good. Nah, the free money is pretty fucking sick. If it's a decent amount, $8, it's like,
Absolutely. I don't like taking credit for something that I didn't do.
Magnitude.
But if it's free, I'll take it.
Sure.
You gotta love it.
Anyways, Pete.
Yep. I think it's about the time
I think we're getting a little close to my bedtime.
Brother, well, nope.
I gotta get some food in my stomach.
We don't let them know what time it is.
We
don't let them know what time of day it is. This could be, top of the morning.
Well, I could be going to bed at 9 in the morning.
Could be
no one knows my work hours.
Yeah, absolutely. We work 24/7, brother.
It certainly could be 8 a.m.
Hustlers don't sleep. They nap. But Quinlan, wow, what a night tonight. I love you, man. What a great time. What a great time, honestly. We're going to be able to listen to this for the next 100.
3 hours.
This is the longest Hamm Planet podcast.
I think so. And look, Pete, there's a lot we didn't cover. There's a lot we did not cover.
Hey,
so
Quinlan
Smith, round 2.
It's coming. It's Quinlan
coming up.
I'm hoping to have.
We got to talk about Top Challenger. We got to talk about Notes of Change. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff coming up the pipeline, Pete.
We got to talk about Unified Commerce going public.
Stock chat.
Oh yeah.
Unified
Commerce.
That shit. Oh yeah.
3 years.
We got
3 years.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Absolutely.
Fucking A.
Fucking A, brother. Always love talking to you, Quinlan. Ladies and gents, if you stuck around with us, hope you enjoyed it half as much as we did, because we had a ball. And as we always say, always remember, ladies and gents, if you enjoyed the episode, if you had a hell of a time hanging out with me and Quinlan, do your boys a favor and share this video with your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, best friend, your buddy, Rick down the street, Roger up down the laneway. Sure, if your dog's a big podcast dog, my dog loves podcasts.
Maybe not Roger.
Send it to whoever needs a little bit of good lives and a little bit of good vibes in their life. Because as I always say, you can never overdose on the good vibes, ladies and gentlemen. So we salute to you, and we say sweet dreams, sleep tight, and we love you. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Adios.